Hey guys, I am new. The anime I am going to recap today is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. This is a love anime that can't be missed. The main character, Sakuta, is one of the 4 famous characters in Japanese anime. He always says some flirting words with a calm expression on his face, and he is called the mentor of love by internet users. Besides, Sakuta wins the favor of 5 female high school students with his supreme emotional intelligence. One of them is a very popular actress, Mai. When she wanders around the streets in a sexy bunny costume, no one notices her, except for Sakuta, who was attracted by her when he first saw her. To unravel the secret of Mai, Sakuta has some funny intimate interactions with Mai. Will they become a real couple? Let's see. Sakuta calls Mai's name in the library because in addition to being an actress, Mai is also his senior. Mai doesn't want to be in connection with Sakuta. She asks Sakuta to forget about the day and stop getting close to her. Sakuta is forced to agree to Mai's request, but Mai is so beautiful that Sakuta can't forget seeing her. When school starts, Sakuta meets Mai at school. He mentions Mai to his friend Yuma, wanting to know what kind of person she is. Yuma mistakenly thinks that Sakuta likes Mai. He thinks that Sakuta and Mai are people from 2 worlds, and Sakuta can never win her heart. Sakuta explains that he doesn't like Mai and he is just curious about her since she has always acting alone in school. In order to get to know Mai, Sakuta asks his seniors in the club for her information. Mai made the decision to temporarily quit her show business after graduating from junior high school. At first, Mai was not a student at their school, and she transferred here after school started. At that time, different circles of friends had formed in the class, and Mai had a hard time integrating. She spent 2 years of high school unnoticed, just like the air. Sakuta is also a person who is always ignored, and he can greatly understand Mai's experience. Though the students find their life boring every day, they don't want it to change. After school, Sakuta meets Mai at the station again. He notices a boy secretly photographing Mai and immediately stops him. Mai expresses her gratitude to him. She once saw the news about Sakuta, which said he is a violent person and beat 3 male classmates to be seriously injured. But Mai doesn't think Sakuta is at fault, because if Sakuta was really the abuser, he couldn't have gone unpunished. Sakuta agrees with Mai's words, but his classmates have treated him as a violent boy. He is accustomed to being ignored and unwilling to change other people's opinions. After talking, Sakuta develops a special feeling for Mai. He is very curious about Mai and can't help but ask about her playing bunny girl in the library. Mai tells Sakuta that she was chosen as the heroine of the morning drama when she was 6 years old. Since then, she has been in the limelight. At first, Mai was very happy, but then she felt increasingly pressured. Wherever she went, she would be recognized. One day, Mai made a wish to go to a world where no one knew her. To her surprise, her wish did come true. Mai went to the aquarium alone one day, and no one noticed her. After that, she went to the cafe, where the clerk couldn't hear her voice. Frightened, Mai hurried back home. Later, to verify that whether anyone could see her, she put on the most eye-catching bunny girl costume. Sakuta speculates that Mai suffers from adolescence syndrome, which will bring her incredible abilities such as reading the mind of others, seeing their future, and so on. To prove to Mai that adolescence syndrome is real, he takes her home and shows the scars on his body, but he doesn't know how these injuries were caused. Curious, Mai touches Sakuta's body and finds that the scars are real. Sakuta tells Mai that he believes that adolescence syndrome is real because of his sister, Keed. Keed was isolated because she didn't reply to her female classmates' messages in time. Keed was psychologically tortured, and many wounds suddenly appeared on her body. Sakuta also had 3 more scars on his chest after learning about his sister's experience. Because of his serious injuries, Sakuta was admitted to the hospital. The rumors of Sakuta's beating cannot hold real since it was Sakuta himself who was taken to the hospital. Just as Mai is shocked, Keed comes to Sakuta's room. Keed hasn't been out of the house in 2 years, and she is terrified of strangers. She says hello to Mai and leaves immediately. Sakuta explains that Keed's condition is related to the internet. As long as she is away from the internet, the symptoms of adolescence syndrome will not occur. Because Keed rarely watches TV, she doesn't know Mai. Sakuta feels that Mai has a similar experience as Keed. To prevent her condition from worsening, he advises her to return to her show business. As long as she becomes a celebrity, people around her will not ignore her. He thinks Mai loves acting and wants her to do what she wants. Mai thinks that Sakuta doesn't know her well and casually makes a guess at her thoughts, feeling very angry. Since then, Mai hasn't been to school. Sakuta searches for Mai's name online and sees a lot of negative news about her, causing him to be very remorseful. Mai has experienced a lot of unpleasant things in the the entertainment industry, and he should not hastily suggest that she rejoin show business. Over the next 2 weeks, Sakuta loses news of Mai. Worried about Mai's condition, he decides to ask his friend Rio for help. Rio is the head of the science club and is well versed in quantum mechanics. She mentions a theory, which tells that it is confirmed that something exists in this world when it can be observed. There is a very famous thought experiment on this theory, Schrödinger's cat, in which a cat is placed in a sealed box, and the poison gas is put in it randomly every hour. Whether the cat is dead or alive can't be confirmed when the box is not opened. Sakuta realizes that if they can't notice Mai, it means that others can't see Mai. To test this theory, Sakuta specifically asks the bakery clerk if he knows Mai. When the clerk replies that she doesn't know Mai, Sakuta is sure that Mai has become invisible. Guessing that Mai might come looking for him, he hurries home. When Sakuta returns home, Mai has been waiting for him at the door for a long time. She tells Sakuta that more and more people can't see her in the past 2 weeks, and she can't even buy food. Sakuta gives Mai the bread he has just bought and takes her to the supermarket. He discovers that passers-by won't see the food Mai touches, and he wonders what would happen if he touches Mai. Mai thinks Sakuta just wants to hold her hand, and Sakuta acquiesces to it. He doesn't want to miss the opportunity to hold hands with Mai and extends his hand to her. However, passers-by can still see Sakuta. On the way to send Mai back, Sakuta apologizes to her. He knows that Mai was forced by her mother to take photos in a swimsuit when she was 13 years old. She had a big fight with her mother and decided to quit showbiz. Mai doesn't expect that Sakuta would know about the swimsuit photos. Every time she thinks back on this past, Mai gets very angry. In her opinion, she is just a tool her mother used to make money. But Sakuta still insists on getting Mai back to acting, which he believes is something Mai really wants to do. Mai does not give a reply, because few people know about the swimsuit photos. She asks Sakuta why he knows about it. Sakuta explains that he was told by a reporter named Fumika. In order to know more about Mai, Sakuta allows Fumika to report on his and his sister's experiences. Mai thinks that Sakuta should not make a deal with Fumika. If other reporters see the news, they may come to Sakuta's house and leave keyed with painful memories. In order to stop Fumika from reporting news about Sakuta and his sister, Mai uses the news of her return to show business in exchange. Sakuta feels very sorry, but Mai is grateful to him. She really likes acting. The reason why she suffers from adolescence syndrome is that she keeps hiding her true thoughts. Mai is worried that she will not have time to take a break in the future, so she suggests they go to Kamakura on the weekend. Sakuta is looking forward to his date with Mai, but as he rushes to the meeting place, he meets a lost little girl. He wants to help her find her mother, but is taken as a pervert by a girl named Tomo. Sakuta tells her that he wants to help the little girl, and Tomo feels very sorry, because she kicked Sakuta. She asks Sakuta to kick her as well. Unfortunately, when Sakuta is kicking Tomo, he is seen by passing police. The police considers their behavior very suspicious and takes them to the police station. By the time Sakuta comes out of the police station and rushes to the meeting point, he is more than an hour late. Mai is very gentle and she has been waiting for him at the station. After learning the reason for Sakuta's lateness, Mai forgives him. But because Sakuta is late, Mai takes him to another place. During this time, Mai asks Sakuta why he cares so much about her. Sakuta replies that it is because he received help from a person when he was suffering from adolescence syndrome, and he also wants to help others like her. The person is named Shoko, and she is 2 years older than him. At his most helpless, Shoko enlightened him and gave him hope for the future. He was later admitted to Shoko's high school, but he couldn't find Shoko's name on the list of students. Mai listens to Sakuta's story and thinks he likes Shoko very much. Sakuta explains that Shoko is just someone he used to like. At this time, they arrive at their destination. Sakuta is taken to the beach by Mai, where he meets her mother. Mai wants to explain to her mother why she didn't choose her to be her agent, but she never expects another fit of adolescence syndrome seizes her, and her mother loses the memories about her. Sakuta thinks it is ridiculous, but no matter what he says, Mai's mother can't remember Mai. Now everyone but him forgets Mai, but Sakuta doesn't want to give up. He decides to take Mai to towns farther away to see if anyone will know Mai. To comfort Mai, Sakuta holds her hand tight. They go to many stations, and no one knows Mai. Sakuta wants to ask his friend Yuma for help with the leave, but he is surprised to discover that Yuma has not forgotten Mai. Sakuta thinks it is strange and hurriedly calls Rio. Rio advises them to go back to school as soon as possible, and perhaps the key to getting rid of adolescence syndrome lies in school. because it is too late. Sakuta and might stay at the hotel for one night. Mai offers to kiss Sakuta. Sakuta, who looks calm, asks Mai if she wants to have intimate interactions with him. Mai explains that she just wants to thank Sakuta for not abandoning her. She thinks what Sakuta wants as a reward is a kiss, but what she doesn't know is that Sakuta really likes her. Sakuta tells Mai that he will not forget her no matter what, which touches Mai so much, because they are so close to each other. Sakuta looks at Mai's face when she's asleep and doesn't fall asleep all night. After that, Sakuta and Mai return to school. However, Ryo tells Sakuta that Yuma has forgotten Mai, which shocks Sakuta. He meets Tomo in the hallway and asks if she remembers Mai, because no one remembers Mai. Sakuta is thought to be a nutter. Ryo speculates that his classmates are less and less acknowledging and observing Mai due to the effects of adolescence syndrome. When people are asleep, their consciousness won't work, so they lose the memories of Mai. Because Ryo and Sakuta didn't sleep, they still remember Mai. In order not to forget Mai, Sakuta keeps himself awake by taking medication and writes down his story with Mai in his notebook. Sakuta hasn't slept for 3 days, and he feels exhausted. Mai notices the abnormality of Sakuta. For the sake of his health, Mai decides to find a way to put him to sleep. She comes to Sakuta's house with an excuse for exam tutoring, and then secretly adds sleeping pills to Sakuta's coffee. As Sakuta is about to fall asleep, Mai says goodbye to him. She has long been accustomed to loneliness, and it doesn't matter to her if she is forgotten by Sakuta. Eventually, Sakuta falls asleep under the influence of pills. When he wakes up, he sees the diary on the table. Affected by adolescence syndrome, Mai's name disappears from the diary. Sakuta thinks it's just his fantasy and doesn't care about the things in his diary. After that, Sakuta receives a letter from Ryo. Ryo has forgotten Mai 2 days earlier, but she wrote a letter in advance. After finding the letter, Ryo gives it to Sakuta. In the letter, she tells the way to get rid of adolescence syndrome. Mai disappeared because she was ignored by the whole school. Later, the bad atmosphere in the school spread to the outside world, causing others to forget Mai as well. If Sakuta's love can overtake the prejudices of her classmates, they will be able to remember Mai. But now Sakuta still does not remember Mai. One day, Sakuta sees a kanji that he and Mai studied together during the exam and remembers his encounter with Mai, and he can't help but cry. In order to fight the bad atmosphere of the whole school, Sakuta runs to the playground. In front of the whole school, Sakuta confesses his love to Mai. He wants to take her hand and walk the beach, wants to see her play the bunny girl again, and wants to hold her tight and kiss her. Sakuta's voice catches everyone's attention, and they all regain their memories of Mai. Knowing this, Mai is very impressed, but she gets angry when she remembers that Sakuta once swore not to forget about her, and Sakuta apologizes to Mai. Mai doesn't want to respond to Sakuta right away, asking him to confess to her in a month's time. Sakuta doesn't want to wait that long, and he vows to confess to her every day for a month. Mai is so happy and she takes the opportunity to declare to everyone that Sakuta is not a violent guy. Eventually, Mai's adolescence syndrome is cured. Sakuta's confession helps the world get Mai back. Ryo describes Sakuta as a young rascal. In the past, he was reluctant to make clear that he was not a violent person, but for Mai's sake, he is willing to be talked about by the whole school. For the next month, Sakuta confesses to Mai every day. On June 27th, Sakuta completes his last confession as agreed, and Mai accepts him. Just when Sakuta thinks they can become a couple, he enters a time loop. No matter how many days have passed, he is still on June 27th. Besides, no one else except him has a memory of this day. Sakuta is so distressed that he asks Ryo to help figure it out. Although Ryo has not experienced the time loop, she helps Sakuta analyze the situation. She believes that Sakuta experienced June 27th 3 times because someone was so afraid of June 28th that he caused the appearance of adolescence syndrome. If Sakuta wants to get rid of the time loop, he must find that person. Sakuta observes the reactions of those around him and finds that only Tomo's actions have changed during these 3 days. After determining that Tomo has stepped into a time loop, Sakuta explains to her what adolescence syndrome is. At this time, a boy named Yusuke walks into the classroom. Tomo is so nervous that she hides, along with Sakuta. She tells Sakuta that Yusuke is someone her good friend likes, but Yusuke falls in love with Tomo, much to her distress. If she rejects Yusuke, she may be ostracized by her classmates, because Tomo speaks too loud. Yusuke returns to the classroom. Frightened, Tomo accidentally pushes Sakuta to the ground. Yusuke mistakenly thinks they are in a relationship and is very disappointed. Meanwhile, Mai walks into the classroom and sees Sakuta and Tomo in an intimate gesture. Sakuta wants to explain to Mai, but Mai refuses to talk to him. Sakuta thinks that tomorrow is June 27th, and Mai will soon forget about it. But to his surprise, the time loop ends. Because Sakuta didn't have a chance to confess to Mai yesterday, they didn't become a couple. Sakuta realizes that Tomo's adolescence syndrome is related to Yusuk, because Yusuk misunderstood their relationship and did not pursue Tomo. Tomo's adolescence syndrome ends temporarily. If Yusuk learns the truth, Tomo may suffer from adolescence syndrome again. If Sakuta wants the time loop to stop, he must declare that he and Tomo are lovers. Sakuta is very troubled, but Tomo has an affection for him and comes to work in the restaurant where he works. Tomo's friends misunderstand that they are lovers, because Sakuta once confessed to Mai in front of everyone. They warn Sakuta not to cheat on Tomo. After her part-time job, Tomo asks Sakuta to pretend to be a couple with her for a while. Tomo is a freshman this year. She lived in another city until high school and is a person who is extremely afraid of being alone. After school starts, she puts a lot of effort to make 3 friends, and she doesn't want to lose them. Sakuta, worrying that Tomo will suffer from adolescence syndrome again, has to agree to her request. Just as Sakuta is struggling with how to explain it to Mai comes to his house. Sakuta explains to Mai that Tomo has adolescence syndrome. He agrees to Tomo's request because Tomo's experience is similar to Keith's, and he doesn't want Tomo to lose all her friends. Mai understands Sakuta's decision, but she doesn't want to forgive Sakuta right away and asks him to show sincerity. Sakuta wants to date Mai, but Mai is busy filming and doesn't have time. Before parting, Mai gives Keith a set of clothes. She wants Keith to dress up nicely so she might have the desire to go out. Keith likes Mai and they become very good friends. After that, Sakuta and Yuma inquire about Yusuk. Yusuk is very good at playing basketball and is very popular in school, but he is a lecherous boy and often complains to his friends that his girlfriend refuses to have intimate interactions with him. Sakuta realizes that Yusuk is not a good person and can finally feel relieved to pretend to be a couple with Tomo, because Tomo needs evidence that they are in a relationship. They go on a date. When they are at school, they also joke around. But Yusuk is so mean that he spreads rumors at school that Tomo and Sakuta had intimate interactions. Tomo is saddened to hear people around her talking about her and Sakuta, while Sakuta is very angry at Yusuk. When he meets Yusuk at the station, they have a heated argument. Sakuta feels that Yusuk is living a great shame and tells everyone that he is a virgin and has never had an intimate interaction with anyone. With Sakuta's help, Tomo's friend sees through this hypocritical person and becomes disillusioned with him. Tomo gradually has an affection for Sakuta, but she knows that Sakuta likes Mai very much, so she can only be by his side as a friend. A week later, Mai finishes work and comes to Sakuta's house to help him review. Because Sakuta is not interested in studying, Mai deliberately dresses as a bunny girl. Sakuta loves Mai, but he and Tomo are still pretending to be a couple, and Mai is reluctant to accept his feelings. On July 18th, the first day of summer vacation, Sakuta and Tomo come to the beach. It is their last date, and Tomo has a lot of fun. She says goodbye to Sakuta and wishes Sakuta to start a relationship with Mai as soon as possible, and Sakuta is also looking forward to it. But he never expects that he will enter the time loop again. Sakuta asks Tomo if something bad has happened, and Tomo denies it. After experiencing July 18th 3 times, Sakuta guesses that Tomo has a crush on him, so she brings them to the time loop. This time, Sakuta decides to put an end to the fake relationship once and for all. He tells Tomo that no matter how many time loops he goes through, his feelings will not change, and then he debunks Tomo's lies. If Tomo really wants him to fall in love with Mai, he won't be stuck in a time loop. Tomo's lies are exposed, and she cries and confesses her feelings for Sakuta. In order not to cause trouble for Sakuta, Tomo brings the day back to June 27th. Sakuta seizes the opportunity to confess his feelings to Mai. Mai refuses to admit that she likes Sakuta, but she kisses him on the cheek, and they officially become a couple. Except for Sakuta not playing a couple with Tomo. Everything is going the way it should be. Although Tomo loses 3 friends, she meets new ones. Later, while dating Mai, Sakuta meets a junior high school student named Shoko. She is the girl Sakuta liked, but for some reason, she becomes younger, and she doesn't know Sakuta. Shoko picks up a cat on the road. Because her family does not allow her to keep cats, she has to ask Sakuta for help. Sakuta speculates that Shoko may also have adolescence syndrome, but he can't find any clues and can only ignore the incident for now. 2 weeks later, Mai comes to the restaurant where Sakuta works to look for him. Mai has been busy with work during this time, neglecting Sakuta, and she feels very guilty. To comfort Sakuta, she decides to go on a date with him after his part-time job. At this time, Mai sees Rio. Sakuta follows Rio into the internet cafe and dials her number. Strangely, the person who answers the phone is not the same person as the Rio in front of him. It turns out that Rio has adolescence syndrome. In order not to let others suspect her, she cannot appear at the same time as another Rio. Sakuta is very sympathetic to Rio and asks Mai if he can take in Rio. Mai doesn't want Sakuta to live with other girls alone, so she stays at Sakuta's house with Rio. Before sleeping, Mai comes to find Sakuta, because Sakuta is going to check on another Rio tomorrow. They can't date, and Sakuta feels very sorry. Just when he is about to kiss Mai, he accidentally hits Mai's nose because of his unskilled movements. Mai is very gentle. In the end, they don't succeed in kissing, and Mai vows to practice with Sakuta until he masters kissing skills. Later, Sakuta comes to school to observe another Rio. This Rio likes Yuma very much and often comes to see him play basketball. Pressed by Sakuta, she reveals why she likes Yuma. When she first went to the store, she was so shocked to see so many people waiting in line that she had to give up buying bread. Yuma offered to talk to her and gave her a loaf of bread. Because Yuma appeared at the right time, she unconsciously fell in love with him. Sakuta realizes that both Rio are real and doesn't know how to solve the matter. As Sakuta is about to go home, Yuma's girlfriend tells him that Rio posted a lot of sexy photos on her social media. After returning home, Sakuta asks Rio about the photos. Rio explains that she just wants to be noticed by netizens, because she has a sexier body than her peers. Boys always look at her with special eyes. Rio feels very inferior. Under the influence of negative emotions, her second personality appears. One wants to get attention, and we call her Futaba for the time being. The other can't accept this eye-catching behavior, and we temporarily call her Rio. Sakuta talks to them, but Futaba and Rio have different personalities, and neither is willing to compromise with the other. It isn't until Futaba receives a meeting request from a stranger that she decides to delete the account on which the sexy photos were posted. Futaba is very scared, since neither of her parents is at home. She asks Sakuta to stay with her. Futaba is fortunate to be friends with Sakuta and Yuma. After Yuma and Sakuta start a relationship one by one, Futaba is afraid that one day she will lose them. Sakuta, in order to prove their friendship, asks Yuma out in her name. Futaba doesn't expect Yuma comes to meet her, and she feels very moved. They go to the beach together to set off fireworks, and agree to go to the fireworks display together next week. Sakuta doesn't sleep all night. When he gets home, he tells Rio that Futaba's account has been deleted. Rio sees the photos they took by the sea and feels very envious. She thinks Futaba is better suited to stay in this world than she is, and as long as she disappears, they can get a happy ending. Sakuta disagrees with her. He thinks they are the same person and reminds Rio not to forget next week's fireworks display. At this time, Sakuta faints due to exhaustion. After waking up, he tells Rio that everyone may hate themselves, and that's nothing. With his comfort, Rio's mind changes. She wants to watch the fireworks with them and tells Futaba about it. As she makes the decision, the two of her personalities merge into one. On the day of the fireworks display, Rio confesses to Yuma, but she knows that Yuma doesn't like her and doesn't expect a response from him. Meanwhile, Mai suddenly discovers that she and her sister Nodoka have exchanged bodies. She deduces that Nodoka has adolescence syndrome and asks Sakuta for help to solve the problem. Nodoka is Mai's half-sister, but she is very fond of Mai. Influenced by Mai, Nodoka became a member of the idol group. Because they are temporarily unable to complete the body exchange, they can only live in place of each other. Mai thinks it was she who caused Nodoka to suffer from adolescence syndrome and feels very guilty. After Mai became famous, Nodoka's mother became obsessed with keeping up with the Joneses, forcing Nodoka to debut and engage in acting activities. Since childhood, Nodoka has modeled herself on Mai and has always regarded her as a goal to try to catch up. Unfortunately, Mai is so perfect that no matter how hard Nodoka tries, she can't surpass Mai. What saddens Nodoka the most is that when she is filming instead of Mai, she faints because of too much pressure. Mai is very worried about Nodoka's condition. She gives the keys to the apartment to Sakuta and asks him to take care of Nodoka. Sakuta helps make Nodoka happy. He tells Nodoka that Mai believes she will be recognized by the director. Nodoka doesn't expect Mai believes her so much and is very happy. When filming resumes, Nodoka wins the director's recognition for her strength. But the filming process does not go smoothly. Nodoka realizes the gap between her and Mai, and she cannot be as good as Mai, but she loves the show business very much, and she will strive to become a qualified idol. Meanwhile, Mai completes a concert instead of Nodoka. Mai performs very well and is given the opportunity to sing the theme song alone. Nodoka's mother is very proud of her. After seeing Mai's performance, Nodoka feels very inferior. She thinks that no one cares about her and she loses the value of living. She wants to end her life and is stopped by Sakuta. He reminds Nodoka that if she disappears from this world, Mai will be very sad. To prove it, Sakuta takes Nodoka to Mai's apartment. He pulls out a box that Mai treasures, filled with letters from Nodoka to her. Mai cherishes Nodoka's letters so much, which proves that she will never dislike her. At this time, Mai returns home. She tells Nodoka that when she first became famous, she was very busy every day. If it weren't for Nodoka's constant letters of encouragement, she wouldn't have stuck to this day. Mai is very grateful to Nodoka. but Nodoka still feels very sad. What Mai does is always the best. She never got the chance to sing the theme song alone, but Mai did it and got compliments from her mother. Mai thinks Nodoka is too naive. Because of the exchange of bodies, she cannot do anything to her face and can only slap Sakuta. Mai comforts Nodoka, saying that as long as she makes an effort, she will definitely be recognized by her mother. Nodoka feels very sorry. She accepts the fact that she and Mai have a large gap and decides to live as she wishes. As Nodoka makes up her mind, they complete the body exchange. Sakuta is very happy that he is finally able to have an intimate interaction with Mai. Later, Nodoka moves into Mai's apartment, and the sisters become closer and closer. But Mai never expects that someone will take a picture of her and Sakuta together. After discussing with her agent, Mai admits to her relationship with Sakuta at the film launch. If it weren't for Sakuta, she wouldn't be back in show business. Because Sakuta is just an ordinary person, Mai asks everyone to respect his privacy. Sakuta is glad that he is favored by Mai, and he feels that he is the happiest person in the world. But life can't be without accidents. One day, Sakuta suddenly receives a request from Shoko to meet, by the name on the letter. Sakuta is sure that the sender was not the junior high school student Shoko, but the one he once liked. Sakuta is very troubled and wants to get Ryo's help. Ryo does not want to meddle in other people's feelings and directly tells Mai about it. Mai feels jealous of Shoko, but she knows that Shoko helped Sakuta, and she doesn't want Sakuta to have regrets. She agrees to Sakuta and Shoko meeting, only asking him to return as soon as possible. Strangely, Shoko doesn't show up to meet Sakuta. In the end, Sakuta leaves a message at the meeting place. I have already had a girlfriend. Next, let's have a look at Keed's story. Keed is affected by adolescence syndrome and hasn't left the house for a long time. Thankfully, Sakuta and Mai have been with her. With their help, Keed decides to make a change. She puts on the clothes Mai gave her and wants to go out with Sakuta. The moment she walks out of the house, Keed can't help but cry. On the weekend, Sakuta and Mai take their sisters to the beach. At this time, a girl named Katomi appears in front of them. She is Keed's friend, but Keed doesn't know her. Sakuta tells Mai that Keed has lost her previous memory. 2 years ago, Keed was isolated by her classmates and felt very painful. In order to get rid of negative emotions, she started to experience dissociative amnesia. She lost most of her memories and didn't even know her family. Her mother could not accept the change in her daughter, and she suffered a mental breakdown. Soon after, Sakuta developed symptoms of adolescence syndrome and was admitted to the hospital. No one wanted to believe Sakuta's words at the time. While escaping from the hospital, he met Shoko. Shoko believed what happened to Sakuta. She believes that the world is different in everyone's opinions, so she is willing to understand Sakuta. With Shoko's help, Sakuta survived the most difficult period of his life. After being discharged from the hospital, he understood Keed's feelings. Even if she can't regain her memory, he wants her to live well. Later, Keed's father left with her mother, and Sakuta started to take care of Keed. After telling Keed's story, Sakuta feels very sorry, because Keed and Mai get along very well. Sakuta previously hid some of the facts. Mai expresses an understanding of Sakuta's approach. Later, at Katomi's request, Sakuta hands Keed a book. Katomi used to live upstairs in Keed's house, and she and Keed had known each other for a long time. Katomi puts a note in the book saying that she still wants to be friends with Keed. Seeing the word friend, Keed suddenly faints. After diagnosis, doctors believe it is a precursor to Keed's memory recovery. Sakuta can't help Keed and can only try to accommodate her requests, because Keed wants to go back to school. Sakuta contacts the counselor at the school. The counselor believes that everyone has different paces of life and that Keed doesn't have to rush to class. As long as Keed steps into the school, it is considered a success. But just as Keed is about to arrive at school, she is affected by adolescence syndrome. Sakuta promises to help her fulfill her wish, but she must rest for now. He thinks Keed already knows that she may quickly regain her memory, so she's eager to go to school. To relax Keed, Sakuta takes her to the zoo. Because Keed loves zoos, Sakuta gives her an annual pass to the zoo. After the tour of zoo, Sakuta takes Keed to the school. The campus is very quiet at night. Led by Sakuta, Keed visits the entire school. After fulfilling all her wishes, Keed regains her previous memories but loses her memories from the last 2 years. Sakuta feels very sad. He and another Keed got along for 2 years, and they still had a lot to do together. At this time, Sakuta develops symptoms of adolescence syndrome. What he doesn't expect is that Shoko appears. Shoko sends Sakuta back to his home. She recites Keed's diary, hoping Sakuta will cheer up. For Keed, Sakuta is the one she likes most. The reason why Keed decided to get out of the house is that she didn't want to upset Sakuta. As Sakuta's younger sister, she feels very happy. With the help of Shoko, Sakuta finally perks up. After that day, Shoko never appears again. Later, Mai takes time out to comfort Sakuta and comes to his house, but she finds the note left by Shoko. Because Sakuta is again helped by Shoko, Mai feels that she has not fulfilled her responsibilities as his girlfriend who should accompany Sakuta when he is sad. Mai is depressed and decides to calm down for a while. Sakuta mistakenly thinks Mai is angry about Shoko's affairs and doesn't know how to explain it to her. Nodoka learns what happened to Mai and is furious. She reminds Sakuta that today is Mai's birthday. Mai has been busy filming lately, but she was very worried about Sakuta's condition and deliberately found time to see him. She didn't misunderstand the relationship between Sakuta and Shoko but just felt very remorseful. Sakuta realizes that he has misunderstood Mai and hurries to the place where Mai works. Mai has very little free time, and they can only date for 15 minutes. Sakuta hugs Mai and apologizes to her. Mai also feels regretful, thinking that she should have told Sakuta what she really thought at the time. Sakuta doesn't blame Mai, because as long as Mai is by his side, he is the happiest person in the world. At the end of the story, Sakuta and Mai become closer and closer, and he takes Mai to meet his family. Kid senses that another version of her has existed in this world. She doesn't want to run away any longer and decides to go back to school. Both Kid and Sakuta are cured of their adolescence syndrome. That brings the end of this anime. At the beginning of the story, I am impressed by the fact that Sakuta hasn't slept for 3 days for Mai. Afterward, Mai gently touches Sakuta's head and says goodbye to him. We can tell that Sakuta and Mai are both gentle people, so when they become lovers, we sincerely feel happy for them. Besides, I think many of you are curious about Shoko's story. Actually, the author doesn't explain it in the anime television series adaptation but in the film adaptation. But I have to mention that this series is excellent and worth watching many times. If you also like this anime, please comment keep going in the comments section, and I'll decide whether to make a recap of other stories of this series based on your comments. If you like to watch love anime just like this, you can also comment below to tell me, and I'll recap some love anime afterward. In the end, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in my next video.